Hiya! Okay, hopefully you can see me okay. I have no idea if we have anyone online already. So let's have a look and see if we have anyone available. Hi Steve. Okay, looks like it's going to be a quiet one tonight. So I'm just getting everything set up here. Okay. Hello Paul. Hiya. Okay, so we have Steve and Paul. Yeah, just while we're seeing if anyone else comes along, then by all means ask me any questions you want to. Okay, I'm wearing a short strapless number for tonight. Hi Edward. So yeah, I'm going out tonight to BNO. So tonight we're going out, going to be a whole group of us, I think, going to meet up and have a bit of a chat, which will be quite nice. It's BNO night, so it's sort of trans girls everywhere. It's very sort of, you know, chilled and relaxed and nice and that kind of stuff. So I'm wearing my short sort of off the shoulder, no straps, little black dress. It's got sort of gold sequiny bits on it. So I'm going out in about an hour. So I'm going to get in the car about an hour's time. It's my Bex blue. Thank you, Edward. I tried something different today. I put some white into it to make it much lighter in the middle. It's something Cindy did when I was having a makeover the other day. So I figured I'd give that a go. I'm really happy with it. It's come out very well. I probably would do it a bit differently next time. But I'll pop some gloss on before I go out. I've got my purple nails on again. These aren't quite as spiky as the other ones. No, these are different nails. So the nails I was wearing the other day are much pointier. These are sort of, if you can see that, I think I'll make it try and focus. These are sort of rounded. It's not going to focus. But you can see they're sort of rounded nails. Like that. The other ones are quite spiky. They're much more pointed and they're really sort of in your face. But they're cool. Hello. I don't know what to call you. Crav? Cravler? Cravly? Hello anyway. So yeah, I've got a request to show my shoes. So I'm going to troll you now. But here are my shoes. As you can see, they're really delightful. Look, see, lovely shoes. Do you like those? Sexy, aren't they? Those are my driving shoes. Just trolling you a bit. Yeah, these are really good. They're great for having a nice scratch. They're also good for itching your head. Not that I need to, but you know, you can give yourself a little scrapey head massage, which is fun. Thank you, Desmond. Desmond D. That's very nice of you to say so. Thanks so much. So yeah, I'm going to be driving off in about 55 minutes. They're not my proper shoes for tonight, Steve. My proper shoes are in my bag, because obviously I'll put them on later. I'm wearing a different pair of shoes right now. So, since you asked so nicely, I'll show you what I'm wearing at the moment. This is my outfit for this evening. See, it's quite tiny. And my shoes currently look like that. Anyway, that's enough of that. Okay, that's an interesting question. Would I like to come to Mexico on holiday with my family? Sure. Why not? Go loco in Acapulco. Wouldn't that be nice? So, any questions? My new products came, which I was really happy with. So these are the new 2 products I've been using. They're by Kryolan. This one for contouring, and this one is for the light around the eyes, and you can see where it's sort of lighter up here. It's working out well. I'm quite happy with these. These are cool. They came really quickly as well. It's a good delivery service. So, who wants to ask me a question? Otherwise, I'm going to talk about the new Star Wars trailer. Or the Thor Ragnarok trailer. Because those are my best ones. Thanks for that, Paul. Yeah, running's going well. I've been doing a lot of gardening this week. So I've sort of substituted a lot of heavy gardening work for running. I have to get back into it next week. But the big weekend, I'm doing lots and lots of, doing lots and lots of gardening outside. I'm digging up a lot of stuff. I'm digging up a big rockery and getting rid of all the rocks and just piling stuff up, and it's quite a lot of effort. So once you've done all that for a whole day, you don't necessarily feel like going for a run. And it's a good exercise for you anyway. But I do need to fit a run in tomorrow, so that's going to be first thing tomorrow morning. Yeah, I do. I have incredibly short hair underneath this. About that long. About an inch. Maybe. It's black as well. So normally my hair is totally black, as opposed to being blonde. Okay. So, I was thinking of doing a trailer review actually for either Thor Ragnarok or for the new Star Wars one. But actually the Star Wars one wasn't that interesting. It was fine. But it's not really all that interesting. But the Thor Ragnarok trailer was fantastic. I love Hela. She looks fantastic. It makes me want to do a sort of makeover as Hela, because that look is just, the cheekbones, phenomenal, really phenomenal. Yeah, it's just me talking. So I'm not doing anything to change my voice. This is just how I normally talk. If I do change my voice, I kind of do it like this. So this is my feminine voice, which I don't do very often. The trick to a feminine voice is to lift up your Adam's apple. So instead of it being there, wobbling around, you lift it up a bit. So this is my female voice. If I'm going to put something on, tiny bit higher, not too much different, but I find I can quite quickly slip back into my normal male voice. So if I'm doing like a long video, or if I'm having a long conversation with someone, particularly when someone else speaks, the problem is I'll sort of slip back into my normal voice like this, and then that's what you get. So I can kind of go between the two. I just have to remember, and for a whole night putting this one on, which is really not too different, but it's sufficiently different that it's a, yeah, it's not natural, let's put it that way. I'm working on it, so I try and do this more for videos. I certainly try and start out this way, but I've noticed that I'll start a video like this, and then before you know it, I'll be down into my normal voice again, in my normal register, which isn't too bad, but I try and just sort of dress up the animation, let's put it that way. So I'm not normally this animated, and you know, hands aren't always here. It's something I find quite natural. My hands become very expressive when I'm Juliette. Not normally so much though. Okay, so a couple of questions. So answer that one, natural voice. I'll try and keep this one up for a while, it's good practice. So, long hair Thor or short hair Thor? They say a change is as good as a rest. I don't really mind. I used to be a big fan of wrestling, and so when a wrestler would go from long hair to short hair, these days we don't have so many wrestlers with long hair. It's not as popular as it was back in the 80s. So when someone like Edge would get their hair cut, or Triple H get their hair cut, that was always a big deal. And you always think people look worse to begin with, but then you get used to it. So I quite like the short head look, but it's good with the streaks down his face. Those red streaks. I think it looks really cool. Bye, Paul. Hope you have a nice night. And so, Edward, you asked what would be my perfect evening. Well, question. Bye, Paul. Perfect evening as Juliette, I assume. So, perfect evening is me. So, my perfect evening is dinner, followed by dancing. Quite simple, quite straightforward. So, go out for a nice dinner, have a, get a few friends together, nice little social get together. Normal place, not let's say a trans place or anything else like that. Just a normal place where you go along and you have a nice meal, similar to the meals I go to in Farnham, or the meals I go to. For example, when I went up to London in January, and we went to Balance Soho Society first, and when I went to London Wednesday of last week, we went to Balance again, and we just had a nice drink, and yeah, I had a nice drink, and that was good. Didn't get anything to eat in Balance that time, but it's a nice place. It's got a good atmosphere, lots of bars and social places to go around it, so it's always good fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then go out for a bit of dance afterwards. I really do like dancing. My shoes I normally wear out are really comfortable, so they're 4-inch heels, but they are great for dancing. And I can dance for hours. So I love those. I really love those shoes. I do love, yeah, dancing for quite some time. I can dance relatively well. So yeah, I really enjoy that. How often? I'm going to guess that's shave and not share my legs. So I'm going to answer the question, how often do I shave my legs? And the answer to that question is about once every 2 days. So about 3 or 4 times a week. So basically whenever they're not smooth. But I just hop in the shower and do it. It's all very simple. So it's part of my routine now. It's easy. I do the same with my arms. Armpits. Everything. So it's all 100%. All the time. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's not very ladylike drinking one out of these. No matter how much you try. Here goes the bubbles. But this isn't bad stuff. I quite like this stuff. My favourite one is it's by a company called Brewdogs. and they do a good non-alcoholic beer, which is called Nanny State. That's good, quite hoppy. Reminds me of the beers I used to drink when I was growing up. This is just your typical German lager, you know, Beck's. It's all the same, really. So, yeah, I thought the Star Wars trailer was just fine. I thought it was you know, not bad, no problems, but not great either. So, not the best. Anyway, so yeah, any questions? I'm just going to try and see if I can see what's going on here. Yes, any questions from anyone else? So I'm trying to see what's actually going on the live stream. It's not the easiest thing to see. Okay, so a question from Edward. Do I have a lot of friends? I do, yes. Yeah, so I've got a lot of people I know through Facebook. Now I'm only friends on Facebook with people who I know, so I don't accept friendship requests on Facebook from people who I either haven't met or I'm very, very unlikely to meet. So if you're based in the UK and you go out and you socialise, then I'd accept a friend request from you. If you're sort of based, and I'm talking mostly about girls here, so T-girls. I get a lot of friend requests from people who are T-girls in the US, and they're friends with my friends, so that's how they get to send me friend requests. And I just don't really accept them because there's enough online stuff as it is, and I'm trying to keep it down to a list of people who I socialise with. So there's probably, I'd say there's about 20 girls who I either know well, or I socialise with regularly, or I share common interests with sort of back and forth on Facebook, whether it's about films or makeup or that kind of stuff. So there's, yeah, over time I reckon I've built up about 20 or so friends. There's a whole group of us that go for dinner, like I said, in Farnham, about once every couple of months, and they're a really good group of girls. So there are people like Gilly, Alison, Giselle, who else got Sophie, another Sophie, we have Adele. There's a whole group of people who I meet with down there. And then there's Amy, who I went out in London with last week. So we went out to Soho. So that was on the day I had my makeover. And then there's Sarah and Mary, who I know through Pink Punters. And I think Sarah's going to be out tonight, so hopefully she and I will catch up tonight. And then there's a whole group of other people who I know through various websites, who if I'm out and I'm somewhere like BNO night, there'll be a whole group of people who've seen my pictures on Flickr or on TV Chicks or somewhere like that, so they see my pictures and they'll come up and say hi, and I do the same. You know, if there's someone who I see them around, I see them online. If I see them out socially, I'll go and say hi. So people like Jessica Jane, Leanne La Rosa, these are people who I've not really social friends with, but I know them online, and so I'll always say hi if I see them out. And I don't see them that often. I certainly don't sort of arrange to meet up with them. There's another group who I also know where you have Anna, Naomi, Lucy, you have, yeah, the fantastic Jenny and Amanda. So there's a whole group of people who I also know from that other group. So there's various groups who I'm sort of on the edge of. I'm not like a core part of any of them, but I like to go out and socialise with them whenever I can. Because I normally go out on my own, so I don't go out with a big group of people. I'll go out, and then if there's someone out, then I'll sort of see them and stuff. Okay, so question from Edward about. Well done, Paul. That took you a long time. Question about have I ever been harassed when I go out? So that depends on what you mean by harassed. So let's divide it up, okay? Threats or physical violence type stuff? No. So I've never been threatened. I've never had any physical violence type stuff. I've never been attacked. I've never felt sort of in danger at all. However, I have had, comments, and some people find that threatening. I don't find it threatening, but some people do feel it's harassment if. Hey, James. Some people do feel it's harassment if you, if someone, I don't know, calls out to you. I don't consider that harassment. It's not pleasant. I don't particularly enjoy it either, but I don't mind. I don't mind any sort of anyone having trying to have a conversation with me or something like that. I don't have a problem with that at all. People can try and whatever, enjoy your life. If you don't go and talk to someone, you'll never you'll never have a chance. But when someone just sort of calls out as you walk past, all right, darling, that kind of stuff, I don't see what the point of that is. It's not like I'm going to turn around and go, oh, fantastic, you've made my night. So what was the point of it? It's almost just, it's for their sake. It's so they can say they did it. Anyway, well done to you. But that's about as close as I've ever come to harassment. Oh, having said that, a guy did try and sit on my lap in Pink Panthers twice. First time I pushed him off, second time I pushed off again, and told him if he did it again, basically, I kind of got into an altercation with him. And then he bought champagne, a bottle of champagne. It wasn't really champagne. It was, nice stuff, but it was like a sort of Italian type thing. It wasn't Bucksford or anything rubbish like that. Sort of Prosecco type thing. And sure, whatever. Probably cost him 30, 40 quid. I don't drink. I don't want it. I told him not to do it. And I don't drink alcohol. So that fell flat. But that's about as close as I've ever come to harassment. So I'm guessing, Steve, your question is, recognise someone you're transforming outside and something to you. I guess your question is, have I ever been recognised by someone when I'm outside? Someone who knows me, not as Juliette? No. Oh, I don't know. My neighbour, I caught her having a good old stare one time as I was coming home. That was close. So I'm sure she must know, or maybe she just thought I was some stranger. I don't know. But that, I think, is about as close as it was. Yeah, Jones, any questions? Let me know. Since you're here for 10 minutes, then send a question. I'll do my best to answer. I'm just doing questions and stuff like that today, because I've got to get going in. I'm here for a maximum of another 35 minutes anyway. I'll probably have to finish before that anyway. Yeah. He was a bit of a arse. And he was also, I've got a friend, Lucy, who has exactly the same hair as me. You must go to the same stylist. And he was, again, he tried something on with her in the toilets, because the toilets at Pink Panthers are unisex. So yeah, she gave him a bit of a talking to. It was fun. I was in the cubicle, I could hear. It's really good fun. She really did give him a bit of a slap. So, sexy heels. I'll get back to you on your question. So, just quick one from Paul. How long does it usually take to get ready? So, 45 minutes is how long it takes me to get ready. It's quite... I'm doing more now because I'm doing this cream foundation for contouring and highlighting. But 45 minutes. And I can pretty much get through it. So, it used to take me a couple of hours. But then I was fussing over every detail and, you know, spending enormous times doing stuff. Yeah, so that was quite interesting. So sexy heels. How do I create my cleavage? It's very simple. Okay, so I'll explain this one to you. It's very simple. You use this stuff. Duct tape. Take a length of duct tape, about as long as between your nipples, maybe a bit longer. Tape it on one side, here, pull everything in, pull it across, take the other side, so basically squeeze your chest together, and then your contouring you use on your face, so whatever you do on your face, draw the contouring on to your, I can't see a thing, okay, draw the contouring onto your chest, blend it in with the powder, and you're done. The trick is to get as much as you can of your own natural cleavage. The fleshier your chest is, the easier it is to do. My chest isn't very fleshy, so I do what I can. But I don't do too much, because if you do too much, then you're constricted all night and you don't feel like you can, you know, move your shoulders back. You can't dance very well. So, yeah, duct tape. That's why you need to have a shaved chest. So when you pull it off, it doesn't hurt like buggery. It still hurts though, and you have to be very careful. But if you've been sweating away dancing all night, it comes off a lot easier. It comes off a lot easier in the shower as well. So, you know, those are tips. It's tough. But, yeah, you can't do this without... You can't do this with padded bras. You cannot do this by just, you know, unless you've got a lot of flesh on your chest, you can't achieve this without tape. It's not possible. There are more expensive tapes, like surgical tapes and stuff, which are better for you, but they're far more expensive. So a roll of duct tape, it's a very simple thing to do. Black, not the silver stuff, because the silver stuff shows up everything. It'd be hard to see this against my bra underneath this. So, Jones, yeah, Jessica Jane, she is a looker. Depends which one you mean. There are two Jessica Janes on Flickr, who I know of, who are very popular. One is white and British, from Birmingham. She's from up near Birmingham. So she talks a bit like that. And I've met her before, she's lovely. And yeah, she's gorgeous. Then there's another Jessica Jane who's based in the US, who is who's black, and again she's lovely as well. She looks again really pretty. So there's two Jessica Janes, but the British one is one I've met. Never met the American one, obviously. Yeah, Jessica Jane in the UK. She comes down to Pink Panther sometimes. She goes out in London a bit more than I do. So I've probably met her 2 or 3 times, not much more than that. But yeah, she's lovely. She's doing a lot of photos recently. Really, really good photos. Hello, Lister's Mate 2. What happened to Lister's Mate 1? Intriguing. So, question from Edward. Would you like to have a wedding dressed like the bride? Not really. Doesn't really appeal. White as a colour doesn't appeal to me. Bye, gents. Have a nice night yourself. Yes, that's the right one. Jessica. Bye. So no, I don't really have a sort of bridal fantasy. doesn't appeal to me that much. Like I say, partially because I'm not a big fan of white, so white dresses doesn't do much for me. The frilliness of it, the big dresses, I'm not really a fan of big dresses. I mean, you'll have seen, I have virtually no dresses that aren't figure hugging, so if it was to be that kind of bridal dress, it would be that kind of more figure hugging dress, more like a cocktail dress. And the other thing about the bridal thing which people like is either the veil, okay, yes, they have the veil thing, which doesn't really appeal that much to me. It's the whole like bridal underwear thing, bridal lingerie, the white garter, white stockings, the white suspender set, maybe you've got a basque, maybe it's a bra and knickers, whatever it is, that whole thing kind of escaped me. So I never really got into that at all. So on the whole, I think there's not much about that appeals to me. Plus which, normally when you think weddings, you're thinking bride and groom. And for me, the expectation of being the bride, and I know this is, you know, it's not, it doesn't have to be this way. It could be bride and groom and groom. But the first thing that springs to mind is of there being a groom with you. And that doesn't appeal. So the idea of there being a groom there as well doesn't really do too much. For me anyway. So I'm quite happy with normal sort of night out type dresses, stuff I find on eBay. I'd wear one, I'll put it that way. I'd quite happily wear like a bridal outfit, just for the fun of it, but yeah. Oh, hang on, sorry, more information from Lister's Mate. Ah, I see. It got deleted somehow. Sure. You must have been, how did your account get deleted? Interesting. Something nefarious going on, I feel. There's been something untoward happening. 1 second, I'm just going to get my bag. So while we're chatting, I'm going to make sure I've got everything in my bag for tonight. This is my bag for tonight. So cards, cash, lipstick. This is my sort of carry-around bag. I have a sort of backpack that I take with me. You've got to have your shoes with you in the car. So I load my backpack up and get that all ready. So just make sure I've got everything in there. Okay. So yeah, I'll just show you the shoes I'm wearing tonight. These ones. These are my super duper comfy 4-inch heel dancing shoes. They're awesome. Just bought a brand new pair, exactly the same. So I've got some of the features. I just had to have them rehealed, which was fun. Getting them rehealed by the big burly guy. Yeah, it's a nice bag. This I've got several bags. It's nice. So I was trying to work out what that question was. So I'm just going to make sure I've got everything in here for tonight. Got my perfume ready for later. Before I leave, I won't need my nail varnish, put that away. So, question from Lister's Mate 2. Would you give a guy a male to female if they ask you to? You talk about a makeover, I guess. to male to female makeover. I've never done that. And there's a good reason for that. I'm not a makeover artist. I get questions from people all the time about how I do my makeup, and I'm very happy to answer how I do my makeup. But I try to copy. Okay, I'm a big believer in rules. Okay, if you follow rules, if you do the same things that work again and again and again, you will achieve good results, and you will, through practice, get better and better. And then if you work at it, you can get really good at something. So I've worked at this for the last couple of years, 2 years or more, to try to perfect it. However, giving a makeover to someone else, I could basically try and replicate what I do, and that might work for them, or it might not. What I'm not good at is an adaptation. So I don't know what the rules are for different face shapes. I know what works for my face shape. I don't know what the I don't know what the different techniques are that would apply in different circumstances for different people. So really, for me, it'd be very hard to give someone a makeover, especially if they had an expectation that what works for me would work for them, because I have no idea. You know, I don't look anything like what I normally do without makeup on, so I couldn't say at all whether this would work for someone else. No idea. Okay, so for my coat, I'm not gonna get up and show you, but I will do this. I'll show you this because it's just over there. So my coat, which is hanging up on the back of the door, and it's going to ruin my camera, is that one there. Just a black coat. Covers up my stuff. So let me just move that down again. Yeah, so that was so just wear that black coat. It might be quite mild tonight. I might not even bother. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I love this wig. It's a really good wig. Favourite of mine. Hello, Linda. And okay, so Sexy Hills lipstick demo. The highlight in the middle. Yeah, it is interesting. Today I did something different. Normally what I do with the lipstick is I use the purple around the outside, and then I use the pink in the middle. And the pink I have misplaced. Should be knocking around somewhere. It's not in my cute little bag. So I've got loads of stuff in here, see. That's about 1/10 of my makeup. So yeah, I normally do the pink, but today I put some white in there as well, which worked really well. It's created this really nice highlight colour. I really like that. It's the first time I tried that, so I was really happy with that. And I tried to bodge it. I just used white, this which is my highlight colour from Kryolan, which is what I use for the bridge of my nose, my eyes and stuff like that. And it worked really well. Created this sort of white sheen. I think it looks nice. I'm really happy with that. Just sort of, I should have done a bit more on my top lip. It's okay then. It's fine. So, thank you. Thank you very much, Sexy Hill CD. Appreciate it. Okay. Thank you very much, Edward, by the way. I forgot to say that. It's fun. The problem I have with these videos is that some people want to talk films, Some people want to talk TV, some people want to talk makeup, some people want to talk fashion, some people want to talk, what you're wearing and stuff like that. So it's very difficult to keep everyone happy, so I don't try to. I just talk about whatever comes naturally. So basically, if you ask a question, I'll answer a question, and yeah, that's the easiest way to do things. So then I'm quite happy for you guys to steer the conversation in a particular direction. That works for me. It's good stuff. I have a 1 hour and 10 minute video on Lord of the Rings, which I'm editing at the moment, which I recorded early in the week. And it turned into a mammoth video, because I loved Lord of the Rings. I went through it in so much depth. I went through the Fellowship of the Ring in so much depth that I'd used up about 45-50 minutes before I even realised it. And then I had to blow through Two Towers and Return of the King really quickly, in terms of sort of movie synopsis, talking about what I like. Because unfortunately I got way too into it. But I could probably do I could easily do like 2 hours on each one. Commentary would be good. I do fancy the idea of doing a sort of audio movie commentary to The Lord of the Rings. With videos, you can see me watching it. That'd be fun. So movie question, Bette Davis or Joan Crawford? That, for me, is a very easy question to answer. Joan Crawford. Not that I've got anything against Bette Davis, but for me, Joan Crawford just had the more striking look. I've not seen either of them enough in multiple films, so I've got quite limited exposure to them. Am I planning on coming to America anytime soon? I've been to America several times. I go there for work quite a bit, but Juliette doesn't get packed. So I normally go to Florida, around the Tampa area, and I've been to New York. And you won't be able to tell this because I could easily be reading this off the screen, so you'd have to trust me. But I can name, when I was younger, we went to, we travelled on Amtrak from New York to Washington, and then, no, New York to Philadelphia, then to Washington, then we went back to New York as part of a sort of little trip that we were doing of the East Coast, so sort of New England type area. And yeah, so we did New York, Philadelphia, Washington, back up to New York, and then flew back home again, about 10 days. And because we had so much fun on, so much time to kill, we learnt all 50 states of the US. I can still name them all today from memory. I used to be able to remember the capital cities of all of them as well. So, there's a lot of ones that people don't really realise. There's a lot of ones that aren't that famous. So I believe it's Bismarck is the capital of North Dakota. But anyway, so yeah, this will use up 5 minutes. But the 50 states of the US are, let's see if I can do this today, Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Alaska, Colorado, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, Idaho, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, Nebraska, North Dakota, North Carolina, New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Ohio, Oregon, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, Tennessee, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, Washington, Wyoming, Wisconsin. 50. Helps if you remember them alphabetically. You have to remember that there are 8 M's, 8 N's, 4 I's, 3 O's. Then you can blitz through them all. So there you go, 50 states, done like that. Czech Republic. I've never been to Czech Republic. Closest I've got is Bratislava. So I've been to Slovakia, so I've been to Bratislava. That was cool. That was nice. But no, I've never been to Czech Republic so far. I've never been to Prague. It's on my list of cities though. There's a little city tour I'd like to do, which is Prague, Budapest, maybe Warsaw, but definitely Bucharest, and a few of those sort of cities around there. You'll sort of there's a nice sort of collection of European cities where you can basically follow about as far as the Ottoman Empire got. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it got to the gates of Prague, maybe even beyond. Can't remember. I don't remember. But anyway, that was you know, I like that sort of period of history. So yeah, Prague would be cool. I look forward to that. So Edward, you're a Betty Davis fan. They're both great. Yeah, I would agree. I'm not as familiar with either of them as I should be. But yeah, it's still, you know, still fun. But yeah, I'm now seeking out Claudette Colbert films because I really did like her. I thought she was great, really great. And I'm also going to be looking for sort of later. So I'm really interested in trying to sort of fish out some Greta Garbo classics because she's someone I've never seen in any film that I can remember. So I'm really looking forward to trying to find some films by Greta Garbo. That'd be good. Oh, and Marlene Dietrich. I love Marlene Dietrich. She was one of a group of women that I had pictures on my wall when I was younger. Because even when I was younger, I used to love the sort of iconic black and white shots of the great film stars. I don't really count Audrey Hepburn in that because I've never really understood the attraction to Audrey Hepburn. But Marlene Dietrich, she was, yeah, and Greta Garbo, just incredible. Really stunningly striking women. And let's move to, have you ever gone to Southwest Virginia? Yeah. So Southwest Virginia, I doubt it. My next planned trip for the US is I want to go to the West Coast. So, hi Linda. Yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that one over at Grand Hotel. Perfect. So, yes, my next trip for the US, I'm trying to do something on the West Coast. So I want to do a bit of LA, bit of San Francisco. I want to go to Yosemite National Park. I want to do like a whole week in Yosemite if I can, because I love walking, I love the mountains, and it looks stunning. So that's the thing. So touristy crap while you're there. Won't go to Sea Life or SeaWorld, whatever it's called. Don't agree with that. Tillicum. Yeah, not a big fan of that. I watched the there's a great documentary called Blackfish about Tillicum, the orca, the killer whale. Great watch, recommend that. But I don't like that whole keeping these kind of creatures in captivity, not my thing. Okay, so Grand Hotel, thanks Edward for that. I'll definitely keep an eye on that one. It's a chance to meet me. No. So I don't meet guys. Sorry about that. I don't meet up with guys. If you came to a venue where I'm at and you were there and I said hi and you came up to me and said hi, that would be cool. That would be totally cool. But I don't go to, I wouldn't go somewhere to meet someone just the same as I wouldn't go somewhere to meet anyone, because it just doesn't work that way. And then I go to In-Out Burger, best hamburgers in town. I'll definitely try that. Our idea was to spend some time in Vegas, because Vegas hotels are so cheap. I'm not a big gambler, I don't care, and they're not going to get my money from gambling, but I know the hotels are super cheap, and it seems like a good place to try to sort of go out and whiz around all over the place. So yeah, get out to Grand Canyon, see it, come back, maybe a helicopter thing, or do whatever. Like day trip it, because it's a nice place. It's not really near anything else, but I could see myself spending 3 days there, just because it's so cheap and the rooms are great. And if you were sort of slumming it for economy's sake in other places like LA, then Vegas would be a nice place to really get something fun. Plus, you can get direct flights in and out of Vegas now, so that'd be quite cool. Direct flight in and out of Vegas or LA would be really good. I would look forward to that. Yeah, Linda, Marlene was great. Yeah, she really had a look. Conversely, I never really liked Marilyn. Marilyn didn't do much for me. She's obviously very pretty, very attractive, but I found her quite... I don't know if it's her naivety or something about her, but she... I never really warmed to her in the same way. I like people with... I've always been a fan of people's noses. So I like people with striking noses, interesting noses. And Marilyn had a boring nose, so it didn't really appeal to me. So, are you doing a little stop by Florida? I've been to Florida quite a few times. So like I said, I normally go to Tampa, because I have a base that I work from in Clearwater, which is cool, nice place. So yeah, I've been to Florida quite a lot. I've never been to the other side of Florida. I've never been to Orlando or Miami, but no, I'd definitely do it. But it would be more of like a family holiday thing. So again, none of this would be going. It would be much more family fun time, Disney, all that kind of crap. Yeah, Vegas, I think it has to be somewhere to go to. You got to see it once, I think. Vegas doesn't appeal. I like CSI. I like the show. That was fun. But, Vegas doesn't... It doesn't appeal in terms of the gambling element. What appeals is the sort of lights and, fun, sort of a fun place to observe. I like people watching, and the idea of just observing all this crazy activity going on around you. I think that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Enjoy that. Okay, so it is now 5 minutes to 9 here. Which means I've got to get in the car and drive. Got to get going. So, thank you all for joining me. I shan't be able to do one of these again for a little while, probably until sometime in May, because I'm typically my evenings aren't this free. I just happen to have a nice free window the last couple of weeks where I can do a lot of stuff, so I shan't be doing another one of these for at least another month. But yeah, I look forward to it. It'll be good fun. By 16 hours. I'm going to go in a second anyway, so yeah, I hope everyone has a nice night. or morning or whatever you're doing. So yeah, that would be, yeah, it'd be interesting to do this again. Maybe with more of a theme next time. Thank you, Hannah. Like I said, I'm literally just closing down now, so I have to get driving. So nice to see you here, Hannah, anyway. Cool. So I hope everyone has a nice night. I'm going to head off. I'm going to get out to my club, have a good night, get a load of dancing done, make up for not having done a run today. Lots of gardening, a good dance. That'll make up for things. Work on the legs. Okay. Have a great evening, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Easter. Don't eat too much chocolate. And bye. Bye. And I'm